Hey everyone, Joko here from NUX, and we're really excited to announce the V5 update for the MG-30. It's packed with a lot of new stuff that will most certainly enhance your experience whether you're playing at home, at the studio, or playing live on stage. So let's get started and let's see what's new with this update. One of the standout additions in this newest update is the Pro Scenes. This feature allows you to switch between totally different sounds within one preset. Imagine you're performing live and you need to switch between a heavy distorted sound to a pristine clean tone. So with Pro Scenes, you can set up your scenes before a show, then during your performance, you can just easily switch between them. What you can do is you can organize your presets into a set list and you can just scroll through each of them during your performance. So just assign a song to a preset, then just program whatever sounds you need for that song, and you're good to go. We've already had this scenes feature in the previous versions, but Pro Scenes not only lets you switch between different parameters and settings, but also amps and effects models, routing schemes, and a whole lot more. This provides you with a lot more flexibility. So as you can see here on the left side, the preset list, I've already assigned my songs to a specific preset. It's already programmed here in scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3. Now let me show you one preset. Here's Joko Bounce. So with this song, I have 3 specific sounds. I have a lead sound. I have a heavy rhythm sound for the main riff. Then I have a clean tone, an ambient clean tone for the bridge. So here for each of these sounds, I use completely different amps. For my lead sound, I used the Fireman HBE amp model. For the heavy rhythm sound, I used the Vivo model. And for the clean sound, I used the Deluxe Reverb model. And here I also have different effects. Like for the lead sound, I'm using the Phi delay. For the heavy rhythm sound, it's completely dry. I only have an EQ here just to bump up the high mids around 2.6K. And for the clean sound, I'm using the duo time delay, and I also have a shimmer reverb here. And I also have a chorus. And I can just switch between these sounds really quickly and I don't have to tap dance anymore. Just need to press this button right here. So I have the lead sound. Then go back to the heavy rhythm sound. So yeah, that's what you can do with the Pro Scenes. We've also added more functions with the included NMP2 dual footswitch. You can now assign scene up and scene down with the footswitch, so you can scroll through your scenes very quickly and easily. So here again, we're at Joko Bounce, the Joko Bounce preset. Then I assigned the B footswitch to go up a scene. So here's the scene 1. Then scene up. Then the A foot switch is seen down, so if you want to go back, just press this. Then it just cycles through the 3 scenes. So to do this, you have 2 options. You can use the quick tone editor. Just go to the expression and pedal menu right here. Go to number 3, then just select S up and S down, depending on where you want to assign the scene up and scene down. So yeah, what I did is I assigned the left switch to go down and the right switch to go up. You can also set this up in the MG-30. So what you'll do is just press down on the encoder switch. Then you'll see this menu, which looks similar to the expression and pedal menu in the quick tone editor. So what you'll do is go to knob number 3 and just scroll through the different options and assignments until you see scene up or scene down. Here's scene up. Then if you want to assign something to the other foot switch, just press down on the knob. Then just scroll down until you see scene down or scene up. And you're all set. Another new feature in the V5 update is we've added more flexibility with the send return block. It now allows you to choose between branch and serial routing for your effects. So with this setup, you can send your audio signal to an amp as well as the front of house. Plus, you can also create wet-dry rigs with this new setup. So now let me walk you through a wet-dry rig I created. So for this wet-dry rig, I set up my send return block to branch out. Then it sends my signal to the effects loop of an amp. Then this amp has an out with an IR, which goes to my audio interface. Then for the main left and right output, I have an EQ cutting out all the highs since I turned off my IR for this. Then I have my time-based effects, I have a pan delay, and a hall reverb. Let's hear it completely dry. Then to blend the wet signal in, I use the master knob. Using this type of setup helps out in a lot of ways. Like if you want to record a straightforward guitar sound with just an amp and the guitar, but you want to blend in some effects later from the MG-30. So now with the expanded routing option, you can now create the wet-dry rig you need in order to pull this off. Next, we've added a USB loopback feature. So the USB loopback allows you to capture the audio from your computer. So if you want to stream online with a backing track, this setup helps out a lot. So to enable the USB loopback, just go to the global settings, go to USB routing, then to turn on the loopback, just rotate the 4th knob right here. And there you go. Alright, next we've added a metronome in the drum and loop section. So to access that, just long press these 2 foot switches. Then you'll get access to the drum and loop section. Go to style, make sure it's on Met to access the metronome. Then to play the metronome, just press on this foot switch. Then you have your metronome. Practicing with a metronome helps out a lot, especially if you're working on some tricky parts or just want to warm up. For those players who are very meticulous about their delay, the V5 updates allows finer control over delay time subdivisions based on BPM values. Now you can adjust the delay to the exact tempo of your song, ensuring that each echo of the delay aligns perfectly to the tempo of the song. Yeah, so for example, we're here at the Joko push preset, which is at 100 BPM. Here you have the delay. Here with the subdivisions, you have a quarter note, which is 600 milliseconds for playing in 100 BPM. Then we have dotted eighth note, which is 450 milliseconds for playing a dotted eighth note at 100 BPM, and so on and so forth. So here you have an in-depth control with your delay time. So here's an example. So as you can see, whenever I change the subdivision, the delay time adjusts accordingly. And lastly, we've added an input trim meter to help you monitor and manage your sounds effectively. So with this meter, you can see if your input signal is clipping or not. See here, I'm not clipping. So we've put the input meter in the left side of the screen here. As you can see. If you want to have that meter on the screen or not, just press the fourth knob right here. If you're clipping or if your guitar has a soft signal, you can adjust the input trim by going to Global Settings, go to Pre-EQ, then you can adjust the input trim right here. Then go back to the main window to monitor your signal. This is really useful if you have different guitars with different pickups, like if you have one that has high output pickups and one that has vintage low output pickups. Yeah, with this new feature, you can adjust the input trim accordingly depending on what type of guitar you're using. And that's a wrap on the features of the new V5 firmware of the MG-30. Updating your firmware is really easy. Just follow the steps we put up on the MG-30 product page. The link is in the description below. And yeah, we can't wait to hear you guys use these new features to create amazing music.